What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Black Desert video. So today we are going to be talking about the new Desert Luminaries event, and there's two parts of this one. You probably read it in the patch notes of a global event where all the servers are like working together to get like 1 billion tokens of these thingies, and then Prolibus is going to send out rewards to literally everyone. So I think that's pretty cool, having a universal event where, you know, everyone just works together to get more rewards. But today we're going to be talking about the solo part of it, and from a beginner's perspective all the way to someone who's near the end game. I'm going to talk about all these items, what you should focus on first, and how they're going to affect you. So in theory, by the end of this event, because it lasts for like at least a month, you should probably be able to get everything, and chances are they're probably going to add some new stuff to it like midway through the month, like they did with the other one. You know how they just added extras. But just in case you are kind of like a newer player returning or something, let's talk about all of these things and what you should get. So starting off with the top to the bottom, 4,000 cronstones. That is just a really good thing to get. 4,000 cronstones will be helpful for literally everyone. So yeah, I would probably prioritize this one first. And then let's see what's next. Advice of Valk's 250. This one I would probably say hold off until you're like nearing the end, like you bought out the entire shop first before getting this, unless you really need it. Simply because they kind of just give out fail stacks like candy these days, and you know, if you have a lot of fail stacks already, this is less important. But if you really need it like immediately, then I think it's a good idea. So, for example, the reason why I'm saying hold off onto it until a little bit later is recently they just gave a 300 fail stack away for free just by logging in. Then they gave a 150. And if you don't know how to fail stack as well, like let's say you're a new player or a mid game and you don't have a bunch of extra fail stacks just lying around like this, let me show you what you can do. So there are a bunch of things like the origins, like these thingies. You basically put it into a fail stack and bigger number gets bigger. So yeah, you could buy all of these things and it helps build a fail stack to the point where I'd rather use my event currency on something different until later. But also Valk's Cry, you can get you put 10 to 13 of them on your fail stacks as just a bonus. If you don't know how to get them, if you do any sort of gathering or life skilling, you probably have a lot of Lila's petals. You can exchange them for fairy blessings. That essentially, a 1 fairy blessing is the equivalent of 1 Valk's Cry. So it's how to get it. Free to play version, they function the same way, just 2 different items. I don't know why they don't just give you the Valk's Cry. They have to make another item, but that's a different story. But yeah, a lot of these, they kind of give out dim origins every now and then for events, Valk's Cries. Other than that, they're just failing items and enhancing naturally. So yeah, 250 stack. I think they're good. I just don't think they are the highest priority, and unless you really need it. Next, choose your destiny box. You remember a couple of months ago, or I don't even know if it was a couple of months ago, maybe last month or two, everyone was getting the thing where you vote for the one you want, and everyone just straight up chose the Gamba box, as in like 100 to 5,000 for the thrills. Now this is basically that, but choose the one. So when you get this one, I would honestly, like, here's the thing, I would choose the 1,000 cron box generally, just because it's a flat 1,000, no RNG involved. I know some people live for the thrill of the RNG for the 100 to 5,000. Some people are gonna hit it. It is what it is. But I think for a majority of people, getting the 1,000 is the safe one. Unlike 2 months ago when they had that event of everyone voting for which one they wanted, when you're getting it for free versus, you know, you actually have to think about purchasing this one, I think that's a little bit different. So I would say 1,000 cronstone, everyone should just get that one. Or the 500 to 1,500. The 100 to 5,000 is probably so weighted that it's just like, you don't know about that one. So it's a little bit different when you actually have to pick it versus is like a free handout from Prolibus in a way. So yeah, these are pretty high priority regardless. Even if you get like 3,000 crons, Kron's always nice. So I would prioritize this one second. Next, we have the Thankful Premium Outfit Box. You know, just another outfit box. Always nice to have. Probably pick that one up. Another outfit box over here. If you need it, great. If you don't need it, Kron Stones are always good. So prioritize on these two as well. Basically, you notice a pattern how I'm choosing all the Kron Stone ones, simply because you will need it in gear progression. Landscape paint boxes. I have an entire video talking about which treasure items you should get. So basically what these allow you to do is if you are grinding in like mid to end game spots, 300 AP plus, you can turn on the little paint thingy over here, and it helps you like it adds the treasure item to the pool of drops at your spot without having to grind that actual spot itself. So I have all 4 treasure items that you can get from here, and I talked about which ones you should get, which ones are high priority. That's another video. I'll leave it in the description if you care to watch that one. But yeah, I think it's a good thing. These are pretty cool. Thank God, because some spots are so tedious to grind. So these are very nice to have. Horse emblem, Imperial Steed. This one, if you are going for the horse or treasure item, the Lumencroft lamp or something, I don't remember what it's called. When you get the Imperial Steed to level 15 and then Imperial Delivery it, there's a chance of you getting the treasure item that combines with... so you need like 4 of these Phalite fragments and then the other Lumen Trace, and then you get the lamp treasure item. If you don't know what that does, basically, you know how you see every now and then people in town riding their wagons? Like from point A to B, it's just an auto loop. I believe that allows you to just go, like, with your wagon has stamina, it takes out that stamina usage, which I think is really nice. And it's just like another treasure item to go for. So Imperial Steeds are pretty annoying to come by because you have to like breed horses. You kind of have to know what you're doing to get these. So the fact that they're giving one away for free, like, well, free, is really nice, actually. So I think this is higher value if you care about any sort of horses and, you know, you've done training before. The Origin of Dark Hunger. You know how I was talking about like building fail stacks? This is part of that one. A bundle of 1,000 crow coins. If you are out in the ocean, you do any sort of sailing and bartering, you probably use these. What I would use them on is probably getting stuff for your carrack if you are making one yourself. Otherwise, you know, I think that's really about it. Just crow coins on stuff to make boat parts, upgrade your boat parts, or the boat parts itself. Everything else is, like, you know, stuff you can just gather naturally. I would probably prioritize items that you cannot buy. So, for example, blackstones, memory fragments, sharps, and everything. You can buy those off the market. You can gather them, but you cannot just generally get these Ellie's magical elixirs because these are event items. And so things with drop rate are usually more important for all of you grinders out there. So I would probably high prioritize the magical elixir, well, I guess Ellie's and Fugar's magical elixir. This is the life skill version. Prioritize these two, the magical elixirs, over the enhancement boxes. You get them all, but these come first in a way, right? And then after that is, I would probably say loot scrolls, and then the life skill version of mastery and life XP over the Capstone bundles, marvelous box. These are just, you know, stuff you can get naturally playing the game or cooking and crafting. Magical shards. If this was a couple of months ago, I would tell you to prioritize this, but now that they sit on the market once again, you just buy them. So like if you had 100 coins and nothing else on the market, I would literally buy something else. So yeah, there's that. That's the shop that I would go down and buy all the stuff in order. So TLDR, prioritize things that give you Kron stones first, which is the outfits and the actual boxes, and then focus on items that, you know, you can't get naturally playing the game. For example, limited event items, elixirs, and then, you know, stuff that are tedious to get, like the Imperial Steed, and then once again, Dim Origin event items. So like, yeah, you see how any of these are like stuff you just don't obtain by playing the game, yeah, get those first. So yeah, that's about it. There's another event you can check over here, which is, I believe it's this one, and it's like, it'll tell you more if you're interested, but there's a universal one where if you get like 1 billion, they just send out another free like 10,000 crowns or something. So that's like, this comes out, we have about a month of it. So yeah, it's not even a rush. Just do it at your own pace. Whether you're a casual player, you only grind like an hour or two. You do fishing, gathering, and so on. I think this is a good one. So just wanted to talk about it, the best items to get, and good luck. Hope you guys get some cool stuff, and good luck with your treasure items for all of you who are going for the paints and stuff. I remember being a struggle. Be sure to watch the video I did talking about all of these if you're unsure about which treasure items are useful or high priority for you first. But I'll give you a TLDR. Telescope allows you to teleport to a person somewhere else. Compass allows you to pull a group to you. Merchant ring adds 5% silver collection on the taxes when you sell stuff on the central market. That's just more money when you do sales. And traveler's map works as, or the archaeologist map works as a traveler's map. They are on 2 different cooldown timers. And so like if you use a archaeologist map, you can also use a traveler's map, and they are 2 different timers. And this allows you to go from point A, like your grind spot, to town, and then it'll pop up a little icon over here. You have 30 minutes to click that button again, and you can go from that town back to the grind spot. That's really nice. So the things I would say I use the most are probably telescope and archaeologist map. Merchant ring is, you click this button once and it's a permanent activation. You'll see an icon over here that tells you that it's on. So for most people, you probably have like a value pack or a blessing. You get a 3rd icon over here for ring. So that's what it looks like. Anyway, with that said, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about in the near future. Today was a big patch, a lot of changes happening. If you want to check it out yourself, there's a lot of stuff over here. So yeah, we'll talk about those in another video. I'll see you guys later. Peace.